NASA's Trailblazer 1, the vehicle for the Fringe venture, proceeds with its surprising outing through the universe. For almost 50 years, Explorer 1 has been sending back key information from the farthest reaches of the universe by and large, propelling comprehension we might interpret space notwithstanding. Late transmissions from this surprising shuttle have introduced confusing signs that have left the whole space local area in a condition of stunning and bewilderment. These signs have ignited a discussion about whether they are the consequence of a specialized blunder or demonstrative of something undeniably more uncommon, like extraterrestrial movement. Go along with us as we plunge further into the secret encompassing these crucial transmissions and reveal what may be prowling in the profundities of room. Humankind's advantage in the mysteries past our planet has been a main thrust in space investigation since its origin. This voracious interest prompted the outstanding send-off of missions like Trailblazer 1 and Explorer 2, which were among the most aggressive space attempts of their time. The send-off of Explorer 2 from NASA's Kennedy Space Center on August 21, 1977 denoted the start of another time in space investigation. Only 14 days after the fact, on September 5, Explorer 1 followed, preparing for a terrific excursion. These twin rockets, each gauging around 720 kilograms, generally the size of a little vehicle, were sent off during an uncommon arrangement of the external planets, which assumed a pivotal part in their directions and mission results. All through their shocking odyssey, these vehicles went this way and that at different velocities. A vital second happened on December 15, 1977, when Explorer 1 overwhelmed its twin because of contrasts in their ways. From that point forward, Explorer 1 has arisen as a fundamental asset, giving huge information that has upset how we might interpret the universe and its numerous eccentricities. Before we dig into Explorer 1's latest astonishing disclosure, which has caught the consideration of the whole space local area, we ought to glance back at a portion of its most critical accomplishments. In 1978, during its Jovian imaging mission, Explorer 1 was situated around 265 million kilometers from Earth. By January 1979, it had set out on an unbelievable 100-hour mission, catching an entrancing time slope by film of Jupiter's revolution. This series, 3,750 pictures, offered exceptional perspectives on Jupiter's dynamic environment and its complex elements. The shuttle's disclosures incorporated the distinguishing proof of a little ring around Jupiter and two beforehand obscure moons, significantly growing our insight into the gas monster's mind-boggling framework. To guarantee the space apparatus protected entry and keep away from possible crashes with Titan, one of Saturn's moons, restorative moves were executed after the fruitful Saturn mission. Researchers chose to close the planetary missions of both Explorer 1 and Explorer 2, notwithstanding the rocket were sent on another way past the limits of our planetary group, going at a shocking velocity of 325 million km each year. In January 1990, the Interstellar mission started, with Explorer 1 proceeding with its heavenly excursion. During this period, Explorer 1 made huge disclosures, including the recognizable proof of 4 extra moons, Mimas, Enceladus, Tus, and Rhea, and caught the absolute most notorious pictures at any point taken of our nearby planet group. On February 14, 1990, Explorer 1 found roughly 6 billion kilometers from the Sun, set out on a visual excursion known as the family representation, catching dazzling pictures of the planets of the planetary group. This assortment of 60 pictures added to Explorer 1's amazing series of 670 photographs taken during its experience with Neptune. Explorer 2 likewise accomplished noteworthy achievements during its central goal. As it moved toward Neptune, it recorded breeze speeds outperforming 13,100 meters per second, the quickest twists at any point saw in our nearby planet group. This accomplishment gave significant bits of knowledge into Neptune's far-off environment and its biggest moon, Triton, whose surface temperature decreased to a freezing 391 to F, making it perhaps of the coldest spot in our nearby planet group. Triton likewise showed surprising elements, including ice volcanoes that emitted with nitrogen gas, throwing frozen particles 5 kilometers into its thick environment. These uncommon revelations have extended how we might interpret the assorted and complex nature of heavenly articles in the farthest districts of our nearby planet group the Explorer missions have conveyed notable outcomes. Explorer 1 and Explorer 2 uncovered that the moons of Jupiter and Saturn, when remembered to be intensely scarred and lethargic, are abounding with land movement. Explorer 2 specifically accomplished a few essential achievements, including being the principal space apparatus to fly by Uranus and Neptune. NASA utilized different strategies to expand the functional life expectancy of these aggressive rocket, including closing down unnecessary radiators and frameworks to monitor energy. The mission is supposed to finish up in 2030, denoting a snapshot of pride and a hint of despairing for the researchers and designers who have devoted themselves to this remarkable undertaking. The plan of Explorer 1 and Explorer 2 was a wonder of designing. These shuttle were planned as steady stages, turning at a rate in excess of multiple times more slow than a clock's hour hand. This planned decision decreased picture obscuring as the space apparatus crossed the huge breadth of room. Indeed, even prior to arriving at the external planets, the rocket started sending pictures of Jupiter, uncovering its whirling mists and renowned element, the incomparable red spot, an enormous tempest on Jupiter that enamored crowds at NASA's Stream Impetus Research Facility. Be that as it may, the revelation of dynamic volcanoes on Jupiter's moon Io earned the most consideration. The shuttle instruments distinguished surprising signs from Io, which were affirmed by itemized pictures showing transcending volcanic crest and a surface scarred by ejections. One of Io's most noticeable volcanoes emitted with a power multiple times more noteworthy than that of Mount St. Helens, covering a region almost the size of France. As the space apparatus proceeded with their excursion, their cameras were in the long run switched off to save power and memory before they wandered into interstellar space. Remarkably, the pictures they caught did exclude Mercury or Mars because of different variables. Past the Explorer missions, NASA sent off other outstanding rocket, including Trailblazer 10, Trailblazer 11 and New Skylines on February 17, 1998. Trailblazer 10 outperformed Explorer 11, turning into the rocket farthest from Earth, notwithstanding the shortfall of other space tests to notice it. Explorer 1 proceeded with its single process for 14 additional prior years, entering interstellar space on August 25, 2012. The progress of the Explorer missions was made conceivable through different creative strategies, with gravity help moves standing apart as especially splendid. These moves were fundamental for impelling the rocket to their far-off targets and assembling important information. The space apparatus depended on their own drive frameworks as well as on gravity helps to accomplish their objectives. Envision the two trying rockets nimbly exploring through our planetary group UTI, utilizing the gravitational draw of planets to impel themselves forward. This divine dance permitted them to save fuel and accomplish the important paces to visit different areas. Gravity help moves include giving the shuttle a modest quantity of a planet's energy as it passes by with outrageous accuracy. For instance, as Explorer 1 moved toward Jupiter, the planet's huge gravitational draw sped up the rocket, accomplishing such accuracy was vital, as any deviation from the right point or speed might have brought about heartbreaking outcomes. Not withstanding the staggering accuracy required, the splendid personalities behind these missions effectively executed these gravity helps on different events, sending the shuttle on a phenomenal excursion. The excellent visit made conceivable by these gravity help moves saw Explorer 2 utilizing gravity helps from Jupiter and Saturn to arrive at Uranus and Neptune. The progress of the Explorer missions owes a lot to these gravity helps as we ponder the unbelievable excursion of these exploratory shuttle and the abundance of information they have given. We enthusiastically anticipate further updates on the examination concerning Explorer 1's new inconsistencies. Both Explorer 1 and Explorer 2 proceed with their missions past the customary furthest reaches of our nearby planet group. Their achievements incorporate investigating Jupiter and its moons, Saturn and its moons, Uranus and Neptune. Explorer 1's time slip by pictures caught 10 pivots of Jupiter in clear detail, including the revelation of new moons and a little ring. These disclosures have significantly improved how we might Interpret Jupiter's intricate framework. Explorer 1 likewise found 4 extra moons of Saturn: Mimas, Enceladus, Tus, and Rhea, and took striking photos of Saturn and its rings, giving new bits of knowledge into Saturn's complex framework. The shuttle impacted the world forever by visiting Uranus and Neptune and conveying significant information about their heirs and moons, promoting how we might interpret the farthest districts of our nearby planet group. Subsequent to finishing their planetary missions, Explorer 1 and Explorer 2 wandered into interstellar space, gathering data about the immense climate. Past this continuous investigation keeps on growing our insight into the universe, past our nearby planet group, as we anticipate more data about Explorer 1's most recent signs and their expected ramifications for how we might interpret the universe. The surprising excursion of these shuttles stays a wellspring of motivation and interest for researchers and space lovers. The same their notable accomplishments keep on pushing the limits of human information and investigation, exhibiting the immense capability of room disclosure. The Explorer missions have furnished us with a mother lode of information about our so